Hi Paula, my name's Daphne, one of the essay correctors here at IELTSpodcast.com. Thanks for sending your essay for correction. Really good idea to get some feedback when you're doing your preparation and you know how you're doing, what you've got to work on. So some people who've been in prison become good citizens later, and it's often argued these are the best to talk to teenagers about the dangers of committing a crime, to what extent you agree or disagree. It's very important in IELTS that we really get into the question. So some people who've been in prison become good citizens, and these are the best people to talk to teenagers. Those are the most important bits of that sentence for me, and we need to absolutely address those in order to really show that we understand the question and we're fully answering it. So specialists argue the best people to lecture, infinitive, young people about the hazards of committing a crime are ex-offenders who've been reintegrated in society and turned into good citizens. Fantastic, well done. Now, not all specialists, but many or some argue that the most appropriate, so change the question words. Most appropriate people, so try not to use the words in the question, people to lecture young people about the hazards of committing a crime are, or even could be, so slightly nicer language, ex-offenders who've been reintegrated, well done. You might say successfully, just to really push that point, reintegrated into society and are turned into good citizens. Okay, well done. It's just using those words I'm just cautious about. Responsible. So if you change those words, you also have a chance to show vocab and get marks for that. In my opinion, having personal experience on the subject is an advantage, and ex-offenders could be. So try not to use can. Better is always could, might, and may. They're pretty interchangeable. The most qualified people to instruct, watch out, infinitive, to instruct and guide, also infinitive, teenagers to a crime-free path. Lovely intro, really super, good work. It's my understanding that now you've given me your opinion, so don't talk about you at all until you get to this. You've introduced your topic, you've given me your opinion here. Now I don't want you at all here. No, nothing to do with you until we get back to the conclusion. So this is all academic writing, impersonal, objective. So there is no doubt that, or specialists, experts agree that, something like that. Sociologists, whatever, agree that a person who's been in prison not only knows more about criminality, but also about the reasons that lead someone to perpetuating a crime. We don't perpetuate a crime, we commit. So perpetuating is doing it again and again and again and again forever. So commit a crime. Therefore, an ex-offender has the perfect background to offer a better approach to advise teenagers. Who might be in trouble or may be tempted by crime. I think you need both those elements. It's common knowledge that if misguided, kids, too informal, youngsters, adolescents could end up in serious problem with the law, just law, no S. Having some guidance and help at this age could, can, make the whole program, the whole difference in some people's lives. Consistent with this, an educational program launched by ex-offenders in Brazil, which focuses on teaching art, helped to produce fabulous example. Absolutely lovely, super writing, really like that, well done. Now, you can't use on the other hand because you haven't had on the one hand. Also, they're not very sophisticated linking words, so I would just simply stick with this. However, for coherence, it works well. However, many would stand. Not stand that, we wouldn't say argue, we say argue that. People's nature does not change. In other words, they do not believe that someone could improve their character after serving time in prison. Okay, you could change that around. In other words, time in prison or serving time in prison has not been proven to change a character. So sometimes it's quite nice, serving time in prison, to have that as your subject So that becomes your noun, subject, and that moves to the beginning of the sentence. Quite often that puts you into a passive verb structure. So that's a really, really good way of showing a bit more grammar in it, and also improves the coherence as well. And due to this, having an ex-offender around teenagers, particularly those involved in a vulnerable position, could be a drawback. Yes, a bit more, and even give them the wrong impression, or even be a distraction, or something like that. Now that you don't need, because I don't want your personal opinion in here. So I think you hear as an alternative. And you want to get in this idea of the best people to talk to teenagers. Who else could do that job? Other people. Right. Teachers or politicians or, I don't know, policemen. Who else could do it? You need to develop that a little bit there. So this is something that we talk about on the course that we do. There are lots of different ways that you can access help. There's a full course, which, to be really honest, I don't think you need, because your writing is already really, really lovely. I think you would benefit from a series of essay corrections. If you wanted to get involved in that, we do a pack of 9 essay corrections where you're sending in your essays. We give you the titles and you write back the essays, and we give you feedback like this, which is a really, really good way of finding your mistakes and pushing you to improve. So in conclusion, while some people may advocate having ex-inmates instructing young people about the dangerous criminal life, others believe it's precisely their personal experience, combined with the wish to build up a better society, that make them perfect candidates would advocate against. I think that's a really, really lovely essay. I love the style of your writing. You've got great control of English. You're using some really lovely vocabulary. I think some of the help you need is on actual IELTS essays and what they are looking for. But that is a very nice piece of writing. Well done, Paula.